What's up, everyone? So everyone has been noticing that Tristan Lee's been getting bigger, and I'm going to be explaining how he's getting bigger. So prior to this, right, Tristan Lee has always been muscular, always been shredded and big. He's been big, but he was a little bit skinnier, on the skinnier side. You know what I mean? A lot of people said he needs to eat more. He needs to, eat more carbs. A lot of people were dissing him. They were criticizing him. They were talking all this smack about him because he wasn't growing or progressing per se. You know what I mean? And now I think he came to realization that he needs to start changing things up in order to start seeing results and growth and progress, right? And so he began to do that. He hired, or I'm not sure if he hired someone, but he has a trainer, a coach to help guide him through everything, the eating, the workout, stuff like that. So with that, with having that, he is able to progress, and we can see that now, right? So Tristan Lee is looking bigger than ever. He is more full, like his muscles are much more full. He has this 3D look to his physique, and he just looks like he's been working out like an animal, right? He's always been working out like an animal, but the results never came. They never showed because he wasn't eating properly, and that's what he didn't care about, right? Because he always strived for this ripped aesthetic physique. And sure, it is pleasing to see, but eventually you will get bored of the same physique and you're wanting to progress. And especially since he's been receiving all these criticisms and stuff like that, so he decided to start bulk up and have a coach to guide him through everything, right? So now he is consuming more carbs than ever. He is working out better than ever, and everything is much more efficient. The recovery, the workouts, the growth, everything is much more efficient and effective because he is doing things properly now, okay? So when it comes to bodybuilding, people, you cannot exclude any type of nutrient or just, you know, being on this earth, as a normal human being, you shouldn't exclude any type of nutrient, right? You should always have your protein, your fats, and carbs, but of course, balance them out, have them in moderation, and just never have excess of it or none at all. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to stay on a keto diet or a low carb diet for X amount of time, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And that what Tristan Lee used to do back in the day. He utilized this keto diet for a very long time, and as a consequence he couldn't grow, he couldn't progress, because he was missing on vital nutrients, which were carbs is what helps build muscle, not just protein itself. Sure, protein will help build muscle, obviously, but carbs are important for everything, for everyday functions, for every function within your body. Carbs are important, and especially when it comes to how full you look, or how the muscles look, how full they are and whatnot. Carbs play a huge role because they fill your muscle with glycogen, and when you have no carbs within, then you have like virtually zero glycogen, so you're gonna look flat. And this is why people who are on a keto diet or on a low carb diet, they are shredded to the bone because their glycogen storage are low. Therefore, you're gonna look hella lean but flat at the same time. But when you have glycogen, when you eat carbs, when you have glycogen, your body will hold on to a little bit more water. So it's going to make you look a little bit more puffier, but it'll give you that 3D look that many people are looking for when it comes to building muscle or having a muscular physique, you know what I mean? So the main thing that Tristan Lee started to do is to eat more carbs. He is increasing and progressively overloading himself with carbohydrates. Now he's not doing it too dramatic because too much of carbs will make you feel sluggish, and it probably will make you fat if you're in a surplus, right? But he's implementing more carbs slowly, day by day, but slowly, day by day, in order to ensure that he's doing this properly and effectively and as efficient as possible. You can't just jam pack yourself with carbs when you are depleted for X amount of time, because your body won't utilize that all at once. You know what I mean? You would just let it go to waste and go from there. You need to slowly start tapering up your carb intake in order to start seeing results, okay? So obviously you should have carbs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But like I said, have it in moderation, balance it out. But most importantly, never neglect carbs, okay? Especially after your workouts and prior to your workouts. But most importantly, after your workouts. Carbs are important, okay? And when you just miss out on carbs itself, you're missing out on calories, because if you're just focusing on a high protein diet or a keto diet, right, it is much harder to get in those extra calories that you are wanting in order to start seeing growth, or in order to be in a calorie surplus, right? Carbs are easy to consume. They're not as satiating as protein. So you could overdo on carbs, but you can't really overdo on protein. So this is why a lot of people get fat off of carbs, because you could indulge on carbs, whereas proteins is much harder to indulge excessively. You know what I mean? So that is that. And yeah, so Tristan Lee came to a realization that he started to, or he needs to start implementing more carbs. So when he began to do that, he started to see changes. He started to see results, started to see growth, and from there, his workouts are better, his recovery is perhaps better, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And yeah, so this message is to let you people know that if you're following someone online, if it's your idol, a role model, whatever the case might be, they're not perfect by any means. I'm not perfect. No one else is perfect by any means. But at the same time, you should do your own research and go from there. You know, just because you look at someone and think like they're the most perfect idol out there, you're sadly mistaken, right? Everyone has their own issues. A lot of people, you know, have more knowledge than others or less than others. So you just have to do your research. Examine this guy and do your research and compare the two and see if it matches up. If it don't match up, obviously this person don't know much about this. So you should probably find a different role model if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like Tristan Lee, when it comes to nutrition, isn't the best, but when it comes to workouts and stuff like that, sure, he's very knowledgeable and stuff like that. But nutrition itself is not his main point, okay? Because obviously, he didn't know about this until he hired a coach, or until this trainer started to tell him or started to guide him through the right direction and whatnot, right? But yeah, people, that's basically it. If you guys have any comments or questions regarding Tristan Lee and how he's gaining weight, or about the keto diet, or whatever the case might be, please leave it down below or send me a message through my social medias. Please leave me a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video, and subscribe to stay tuned, and catch you in the next video.